Hello students, we are starting the second chapter of the book Our Pasts, and that is from hunting gathering to growing food. We have learned the meaning of hunting gathering and growing food. So this chapter is about the transition of the Stone Age people from the hunting gathering, the way they used to get their food by hunting and gathering, to growing food, to becoming farmers, to the development of agriculture. Let's start with a small story about a boy named Tushar. Tushar's train journey. Tushar was going from Delhi to Chennai for his cousin's wedding. They were traveling by train and he had managed to squeeze into the window seat, his nose glued to the glass pane. As he watched trees and houses fly past, his uncle tapped his shoulder and said, "Do you know that trains were first used about 150 years ago and that people began using buses a few decades later?" Tushar wondered, when people couldn't travel quickly from one place to another, did they spend their entire lives wherever they were born? Not quite. Same as Tushar, you also might be thinking, like, if there is no mode of transportation, will people spend their entire lives at the same place they were born? That's not the thing. Earliest people were also moving from one place to another. Let's read about what were the reasons for moving. The earliest people. Why were they on the move? We know about people who lived in the subcontinent as early as 2 million years ago. Today, we describe them as hunter-gatherers. The name comes from the way in which they got their food. Generally, they hunted wild animals, caught fish and birds, gathered fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks, and eggs. Hunter-gatherers moved from place to place. There are many reasons for this. Now we have studied last year what was hunting and gathering. Hunting means to hunt for the animals and catch fishes and birds for their food or for various other activities like getting their bones or skins, and gathering fruit. Gathering fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, stalks and eggs. Stalk is the main stem of a plant. So they used to get their food from the nature. Whatever things there are in the nature, they will gather it. Instead of producing, the nature will do its work and get the fruits and all, but they will get their food from that. They were the hunters and gatherers, and they moved from place to place. There are many reasons for this. Let's read the reasons. First, if they had stayed at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up all the available plant and animal resources. Therefore, they would have had to go elsewhere in search of food. Now imagine you are living in a jungle and you have eaten up all the fruits and plants of that area. Now the environment needs some time to grow back its fruits and all. And so after using up the resources of one area, they will have to move to another area in search of food. Second, animals move from place to place, either in search of smaller prey or, in case of deer and wild cattle, in search of grass and leaves. That is why those who hunted them had to follow their movements. Now, they are hunter-gatherers, they are wanderers who used to roam from place to place. For gathering food, they need to go to another area after using up all the resources of one particular region. And for hunting, if your food is moving from one place to another, you have to move behind it. So that's why even they had to follow their movements. Third, Plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons, so people may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. Most of the plants do not bear fruits in all the seasons. Some of them are, but many bear fruits in different seasons. So for particular season, they spend their time in that area where that kind of plants were there, and for another season they will roam, they will go to different area where there are plants which give fruits for that particular season. For example, during summers, they'll be near trees which gives mangoes, and during monsoon or during winter they will be near a region with trees of oranges or pomegranates. I mean, right now we may be getting all the fruits in all the seasons, but that's not healthy and that's not even natural. But earlier, this is just an example. They might be doing it for that. Like in, they had to move from season to season. Fourth, people, plants and animals need water to survive. Water is found in lakes, streams and rivers. While many rivers and lakes are perennial, that is, with water throughout the year, others are seasonal. People living on their banks would have had to go in search of water during the dry seasons, that is, winter and summer. Now, all the people, plants and animals, they need water to survive. Now, if they're living near the region where the water gets dried up during winter or summer, they need to go and find another region where there is water throughout the year, or if there is water for their survival. So they may had to move during the dry seasons. So we studied the 4 reasons why the hunter-gatherers were always on move. First, after using up all the resources of one region, moving to another region. Second, for hunting. If the prey is moving, following their movements, even they had to move behind the prey. Third, for getting the seasonal fruits. And fourth, for being near water during the dry seasons. I hope they were clear. Now, how do we know about these people? How do we know about these hunter-gatherers? Archaeologists have found some of the things hunter-gatherers made and used. It is likely that people made and used tools of stone, wood and bone, of which stone tools have survived best. How do we know about these hunter-gatherers? Because the archaeologists have found things that they made and used. Mostly, they made and used tools of stone, wood and bone. But stone tools have survived best. Stone tools, we can still find them. They have not been decomposed with time. Some of these stone tools were used to cut meat and bone, scrape bark from trees and hides from animal skins, chop fruit and roots. Why were these stone tools used? For what purpose they were used? They were used to cut meat and bone, for cutting, for scraping bark, the skin of trees and hides, the animal skin, and for chopping fruit and roots. Some may have been attached to handles of bone or wood to make spears or arrows for hunting. I gave you these examples last year as well, when the stone tools were attached with bone or wood to make spears and arrows for hunting. Other tools were used to chop wood, which was used as firewood. Wood was also used to make huts and tools. Stone tools may also have been used for, I've given the pictures, left digging the ground to collect edible roots for digging purpose, and right stitching clothes made out of animal skin. Here in the picture, stone is used for stitching. Nowadays we don't need stones, but You may have seen cobbler mending your shoes. He uses a pointed tool to pierce the thread into it. Same way, stone tools were used for making clothes out of animal skin. Okay students, that's all for today. I want you to go through this video once again before I give the next video tomorrow. That's it. Enjoy your day. Happy monsoon.